Hello everyone, this is Crystal and welcome to my channel where I share card making techniques, sweet paper crafts, and now inspiring food ideas. Edith Wray from Scrapbooking with Me has asked me to be a part of her e-club design team. This e-club kit is fantastic. Every month you receive a box in the mail jam-packed full of coordinating goodies to make a large project and a couple of cards. Plus, you will receive a free PDF and videos exclusively for the eClub Kit members only. There's also an exclusive Facebook group where we share our inspirational and creative ideas with one another in a positive and uplifting atmosphere. Edith also gives us a sneak peek of the upcoming items in the kit to keep our mouths watering and our hands itching. I know I can't wait until I get a hold of the next kit. I'll post the informational link below. There's only a few kits left for April, so you better hurry. Now today I'm showing you how I made this beautiful beaded feather charm for your waterfall photo album, or your purse, or your notebook, or backpack, or any other place you can think of. They are quick and extremely easy, and a great way to build up your stash. This project I'm sharing with you today uses our washi tape from our March kit. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is we need to gather our supplies. First we'll need some art glitter glue, some washi tape, a pair of scissors, and some embroidery floss. And I decided to use pink embroidery floss. Now I measured my album, the length of my album is how to cut my embroidery floss, but it was a little short, as you'll see in this video. Instead, I would measure at least at 12 inches. And you'll need one for each feather you're making, and with this one I'm making 3. And now I'll take our washi tape, and I'm taking the pink splotchy one, and I'm just tearing off a length of washi tape, and you turn it upside down. And then I'll need another piece the same length. And I tried pressing them together and they don't want to stick. And that's where my art glitter glue, it will come in handy, because I'll be gluing them down to hold them in place. As you see here, just kind of stick it down there and press it down. And then I use this little tool, I don't know what it's called, but this little tool I have, it's pointy at one end, it's like a tiny spatula on the other. And then I'll take the end of my embroidery floss and I'll stick it down in the center of the washi tape. But you don't want to go clear to the end, because this will be the vein of our feather and we don't want it to go all the way to the end. And then I'll tear off 2 more pieces of washi tape the same length as we had previously. And I'm using art glitter glue to stick it together also. And we'll stick it down and then we'll press it really, really good. Make sure it sticks. Now we'll set that aside to dry, and we'll do it again with the other 2 pieces, or other 2 washi tapes. And I don't want my feathers all to be the same length, so I'll have them at different lengths. This one, I press in embroidery floss in the middle of the washi tape, and this one I think I put 3 pieces across. I'm not sure, or maybe I only did 1. I don't know. I'll have to watch it with you and see. And I see I only used 1 for the front and 1 for the back. Now for the smaller washi tape, I used 3 pieces for the front and 3 pieces for the back. And I also didn't make the feather near as long, as I wanted to have them different lengths. And so I decided to make this one a short one. And as you see, the washi tape can be a little fiddly because it kind of wants to stick to you and not stick where you want it to. And I took the embroidery floss and I stuck it down the center of that skinny one and glued it down. And now I'm adding 2 pieces, one on either side of it. And I'm trying to get it to stick down and pressing it down so it doesn't stick to me. And then I'm adding 3 more pieces to the top of it, one on either side and then one down the center. And I'm not worried about getting the colors matched up because you won't notice it anyway after you get done with it. So we'll set that aside. And now I'm taking one of the first ones and I'm cutting around, and I make sure I don't cut the embroidery floss, and I cut around the top and kind of shape it into a feather. And you want to cut the sides down because your washi tape doesn't always exactly match up evenly. But as you see, it's kind of like a large oval. And I'm going to do the same thing again, and make sure you don't cut your embroidery floss or you'll be starting all over again. And I cut it clear up to the top of where both pieces of washi tape meet, the top and the bottom. And then I'll go back around to the bottom. And you'll look at it, and if you don't like the way that it looks, which I'm out of camera, you can always go back through it and trim it again. And I'll do the same thing with this little one. Go around and go around to where both pieces are stuck together, the top and the bottom. And there we go. And I straightened this one up because I didn't like the way that it looked, so I trimmed it up a little bit better. And now it comes to the fun part. As your feathers will, they're at a point. They're like at a V, going from the center out. So what I do is I turn it upside down and I just make slits going up, tiny slits. And I hold my thumb right where the center of the feather is, or where the embroidery floss is too, because you don't want to cut it. And then turn it over and do the same thing and go down. And once you get to the bottom or the top of your feather, there you want to cut just straight up and down and short, and have it really short. Then you take it and just kind of fluff it down and frazzle it out, and then it looks like a feather. And so I'll show you again. So you take your feather upside down, put your finger on where the floss is, and you make tiny slits going upward at a V shape. You get to the bottom and you make short slits straight up and down. Turn it over, you do the same thing again. Just keep making tiny little slits. When you're all done, turn it over, fluff it out, and there you go. You have another feather. And we'll do it again for this last one. So turn your feather upside down, keep your fingers on the center where the floss is so you don't cut it. When you get that side done, you turn it over and you do it again. And when you get to the bottom, you make short little slits at the top. And then turn your feather over and fluff it down. And there you have it. And here's all 3 of our different washi tapes and the feathers made out of each one. As you can see, they're all different and they're all unique. And for this next part, I'm combining how I did my beaded tassel with the feathers. And I've never done this before. So this is something new. So you'll see how my thought process goes along with this. But anyway, you'll need some beads, and I used some pearl beads. I had some pink and I had some white. And you also need your floss threader and scissors, and you'll need a jump ring and a lobster claw. The first thing I did is I tied a knot at the end of the feather in your embroidery floss. And I just did that. I wanted to do a couple of them because I kind of want to help hold the beads in place and not to slide down the feather. I don't know whether they would or not, but I just wanted to make sure that they didn't. And then I went and I strung 5 of the pearl beads on the end of that with my floss threader. And then I went and I tied a knot at the end of those beads just to hold it in place because I don't want them sliding around. In fact, I knotted it more than once because I wanted to make sure I had a nice big knot that was going to stay there. And I accidentally knotted it around the last bead, so I had to take it off and slide it down there. And there, actually I tied it the 3rd time just to make sure it was going to stay. There you go, I got a nice big knot there now. And so I'll do that to all 3 of the feathers. I'll do the same thing. And now I'll take all 3 of the feathers and I'll put the top of the beads all together, and I'll tie an overhand knot using the threads, and I'll treat them as if they're only one, and I'll make a big overhang knot to hold it together. Sorry I'm out of camera view, but you can see now where I'm at. And now I'm going to string on some pink beads. I guess they're pink pearls. And I'm only going to string on 2. That's all I'll need. And I use my floss threader to do that with it. And now, to make life easier to try and tie a knot with all those strings, I reached for my art glitter glue and I put it on the strings, and I just glued them all together so they would stay together. Put the glue on and just kind of rolled it and twisted it into the floss. Had them bind together so it would be so much easier to work with. Let me tell you, this is a neat trick. And when it dries, and it dries matte, you don't even notice it's there. The only thing is, it was still kind of damp, and I'm trying to slide the knot down. And I had to work at it a little bit more because it would stick and it didn't want to slide. But it can be done. You just work at it and pull it down with your nails. And now I'm taking a jump ring and I'm putting it through the end of it, and then I'm leaving a little bit of space, and I'm tying a knot that didn't want to slide, but I forced it down to make it. And my threads were so short that I used the floss threader to get the end down in there so I could double knot it. And it worked. And now I'm going to reach for my art glitter glue again, and I'm going to add glue between the 2 knots, and I'm going to take the end of that floss and just wrap it around, and just keep wrapping around and adding more art glitter glue if needed, and twisting it really tight for it to stay. And here I'm adding my lobster claw clasp to the feathers, and I added a library clip to my album, and I clipped the lobster claw clasps to it because I thought it would be easier. And I think it was, because I added a jump ring to it and then hooked it to the jump ring that was on my feathers. Just turn the jump ring sideways. Don't pull it out, just turn it a little bit sideways. That way you keep the round shape, and then turn it back. And there. My feathers are a little long, but that's alright. I kind of like them. I think they're turned out kind of pretty. Well, that's my project for today. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so you'll be notified every time when a new video is released. And don't forget to check out the clubkit so you too can create beautiful projects like my waterfall mini photo album shown here in the picture. Here's a few photos of the inside. The link is posted below. Bye for now. Happy crafting!